Welcome back, you good people. It's good to see you, good to see you. Today we're going to talk about something that I'm very interested in. If you couldn't pick it already with my little friend over there, I'm going to try to convince you that there's aliens. I'll definitely convince you that UFOs exist, or as they call them these days, UAPs. So let's get into it.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe.
So
this was taken on.
Listen to what he says, right? Listen to what he says.
Okay.
October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9.
He said an MQ-9 drone.
That's the drone, yeah, okay.
Was tracking an orb. He says another drone fires a missile, a Hellfire missile. Continue.
First of all, that's so cool. That's fucking sick. All right, let's continue.
Launched a Hellfire missile. You cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Okay, pause. So you can't see that drone that fires the missile, right? But apparently there's another drone which is tracking this thing, right?
Yep.
Continue.
Fuck, it's booking. Why are they always above water?
Maybe they're thirsty.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn, this shit's still going.
Okay, no, you could keep watching it.
Going.
So that's obviously the drone that's continuing.
This is when it zoomed out.
It's still going, bro.
So
There's no way that's...
traveling.
If that's real, there is no way that's human-made. It would be in the water by now. That shit's still going.
Mr. Knapp.
Okay. Mr. Knapp. What do you see from that footage?
I saw some sort of blob. I'm not sure exactly what that was. I wish it was...
Okay, which blob?
When the video started, it was like some circular kind of UFO looking. Like, it didn't look like a jet or conventional jet. You know what I'm wondering? All these videos, right, that have leaked, because I've seen the Tic Tac one, that was also in infrared. Do they have active camouflage, and this is the only way they can see it? By seeing the heat? Yeah,
it's a heat sensor. Well, some of them, apparently, they've got the ability to cloak.
That's pretty cool.
Sometimes they have only been able to track them with the heat seeking or the heat vision. But continue. What? No.
Yeah, sorry. I'll finish off. So yeah, and then I saw a Hellfire, Hellfire missile. Supposedly hit this object, and then there's a bit of debris. I don't know what it was. I've heard online that some sort of orbs come out from it. But yeah, it looks like...
No, the only reason it looks like orbs is because it's the heat vision. So it's the sparks and the bits of metal that have come off the Hellfire missile.
But what I'm curious about...
See, some people are saying that Hellfire missile gets deflected and it actually makes contact with the UAP, UFO, and then the UFO the UFO gets brought down, gets broken apart, but that doesn't make sense to me. Like, what I think is happening right now is that the Congress guy fucked up.
Hell.
I think the drone was tracking the Hellfire missile.
How?
I'll go back to it.
What, you think the UFO deliberately hit the Hellfire missile?
Yeah, because that's been That's happened in the past. UFOs have brought down nukes and stuff before.
Let's have a look at this.
What we need to do, is we need to slow it down. And just as it comes into frame, pause it. Slow it down. Okay, see that?
That looks more like a Tic Tac, I'll give you that.
Not only that. It's not only that. Well, it does have like it looks like it has a bit of propulsion coming from the back of it.
Yep.
So that kind of ruins my theory a little bit, but that might just be...
And another thing I think that isn't aligning with your theory, although that would be a cooler theory in my opinion, is that this object that they are tracking, it's not facing how a Hellfire missile should be.
No, that's because that's a flame.
No, they don't come out that much. No way. And another thing I'd like to say about your theory is even if it was hit, it was a Hellfire missile, why did it keep going when it was directly struck? That a Hellfire missile would not keep going. No way.
That's because the other thing is the Hellfire missile. It goes down, and that UFO keeps going. Have a look when it hits. Go slow-mo. Watch the S. Watch the very vague S shape that it makes as it goes to what I consider the missile. Hits it, does a short S, and then keeps going.
No, it looks like the Hellfire's going down into the ocean there.
Yeah.
Look, watch the Hellfire missile. It looks like it's curving down into the water because it's lost its propulsion, but this thing keeps going.
That thing looks like it's coming down. That's got the debris coming off it. It slows down and it starts falling.
But let me ask you this. It might look like that, but they zoom out and it keeps going for a while.
I know, but you notice that they stop the footage and then they start tracking the other thing that flew off.
Yeah.
That's what I think. They stop the footage here and then start tracking that orb. Because that turns into an orb now. What they start tracking it and keep playing it. Okay, that looks like that might be the missile broken up and starts falling into the water, right? Now the camera completely, and it's got its debris coming off of it.
Direction.
Now the camera, it stops and goes out, pulls out. Why is this guy?
Get the fuck off my screen, bro.
And then it goes after this, which is the orb, which is the little dot, that's not the fuck, that's the little dot that came from the side.
I don't know, bro. I don't know about this one. It's an interesting theory. But you gotta ask, bro, there's no way the military, the most powerful military in the world, accidentally tracks their own missile.
They didn't accidentally track their own missile. That was planned. They track their own missiles all the time.
No, but
they film their own missiles to see when they're practicing. They film their own missiles to see how they go all the time. Like they keep track of them so they can put it in the data to see whether they've got to change this or change that. That's how they learn how their missiles work and whether they can make them any better. They track their missiles all the time, dude.
End of the day.
I'm just saying that I don't think that it was a drone trying to shoot down a UFO. I think it was them experimenting with their missiles, shooting their missiles across the ocean, and then UFOs come in from nowhere while they're filming their missile and comes in and tries to take out their missile, which has happened before. I feel so sorry for this guy.
And the package flew on down range. We were all celebrating the fact that we had seen the thing and accomplished the mission. When I got back to the base with the film the next day, I was called into the office of Major Florence J. Mansman, and there were 3 people in gray suits standing in there. There was a 16mm camera and a screen setup. Major Mansman said, "Lieutenant, sit down and watch this." And he turned down the lights, turned on the camera, on the projector, and the film came on. And I recognized it as the film that we'd shot at Big Sur the previous day. Toward the end of the flight, I was looking at Major Mansman saying, "Pretty good stuff, huh, sir?" And suddenly he said, "Just watch this." And as I watched, the warhead, the dummy warhead, the chaff that was put out in front of it as a decoy to deflect the Russian anti-missile tracking radar, everything was flying along, and suddenly, in the same direction this stuff was flying at about 8,000 miles an hour, an object came into the frame, shot a beam of light at the warhead, flew up to the top, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew around the direction it was flying, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew down, shot another beam of light at the warhead, and flew out the same way it came in.
Well, I don't see it. Why didn't you see this when you were shooting it?
Well, it was 800 miles away from us.
Oh, I got you.
They
confiscated.
Well, first
Okay.
of all, the Major Mansman.
That was his job.
That's a pretty cool job. Someone give me that job.
Yeah, it is. It would be a pretty cool job. But so they film their rockets all the time, so they can get data
Yeah, I understand.
on how
how it
their
moves, how
rockets-
it reacts.
Yeah. But that was a dummy warhead.
I wonder why that, if hypothetically that was real, I wonder why the UFO shot laser beams at it. Do you reckon they thought it was real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Then that
if
begs
they
the-
were smart enough, they would have known it was a dummy. But maybe they can't read the army's mind. Who knows? But look, I don't know what the fuck was going on with the UFO. I don't know what was going on with the laser beams. All I know is that this guy had nothing to lie about. Like, he was being completely honest. He had the footage. They covered it up,
Why do we have UFOs running around,
taking out missiles.
taking out missiles,
It's either that,
flying over oceans?
It's either that, or you've got the army trying to shoot down UFOs, which is a possibility too. Because there was another clip. There, see that?
Wait, what are you saying the other one is?
A rocket getting shot at a UFO. So the UFO is flying what looks like the Earth, slowly just minding its own business, just flying around, having a lovely fucking day. And then you see a bright light. It goes, holy shit, get the fuck out of here. And it zooms the completely opposite direction.
What I don't get is, why the fuck are we shooting at a UFO
I know, eh?
that obviously is more technologically advanced than us?
Yep. Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. But like, so there you go. You've got your two things. You got UFOs shooting down rockets, and you got rockets trying to shoot down UFOs. But did you see how quickly that fucking jumped out the way? I think if we shot a rocket at a UFO, it would just fucking fart at it and then just fly away. Like, I don't think it would get hit. There's theories out there saying that the aliens are actually future us's. Like, it's just
Time
us
travelers.
from the future. We come up with some sort of time travel in the future, and then we come back and research what we were like back now. That's one theory. Other theories are that they're here to keep an eye on us. Maybe they created us once upon a time.
I like that one.
Yeah.
And they're just here to protect us, like to make sure we don't blow ourselves up. That's why they check the missile out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I did hear that once nuclear weapons or something like that was created,
That's when the UFOs.
that's when the UFO sightings started to pop up.
Yeah. Apparently, that's another theory too. There's a huge rabbit hole to go down. There's just a couple of things that I wanted to add to try and justify why I'm not crazy. I don't think I'm crazy, and maybe some things that the audience hasn't seen before or heard about. Obviously, we've all heard about Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar. Have you heard about him?
Yep.
Yeah. 1989, he came out. He was a whistleblower. He came out, with claims that he worked at Area 51 and that he actually back-engineered or helped try to back-engineer an alien spacecraft. He claimed that there was 12 to 13 different spacecrafts, I believe. And he worked on the sports model. I could be wrong about the number of UFOs that they had, but he said that the technology was so advanced that they were getting nowhere. They couldn't figure anything out. What makes his story pretty good, well, first of all, they ruined his life too, because he didn't get nothing from it. He said that the UFOs, they used the fuel called Element 15. So he told everybody about it before we even knew about it.
Yeah, he's one of the most credible people for sure. His story lines up completely.
Anyway, there was that story. Also, the way he got caught, he took his friends out to Area 51 or near Area 51 on a specific night when they actually tested UFOs, flew them out, and yeah, his friends all saw the UFO, but they ended up getting caught that night. And that's when he got busted, and he was, that's when they told him that they were going to come for him. They threatened his life, and that's when he had to come out with it and tell everybody to sort of protect himself, because if he made himself famous, then they couldn't really take him out then, or it gave him more protection. Anyway, the Phoenix Lights. Thousands of people saw this giant UFO. See, this guy reckons that they're all separated lights. These lights went in a huge triangle and they were actually joined to each other. So the shape of the craft was like a boomerang.
Oh. So you reckon that's a huge vehicle, but like that's the lights surrounding it?
Yeah, it is. It's the shape of a boomerang. You've had thousands of people watch this slowly go across the top of their house. Thousands of people came out and said they seen it. The government tried to say that it was flares.
That's not flares. They're not moving, bro.
No. The funny thing about this story is, like, the government came out, said that they caught the culprit, and he came out and he dragged a fucking alien, or a dude dressed up in an alien costume.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and made a big joke of it, trying to say everybody's a fucking idiot. And really, he made himself look like a fucking joke, because as soon as he did that, I lost all respect for him. Anyway, then he comes out years later.
That guy?
Yeah, the same guy, when he wasn't the Prime Minister anymore, or wasn't the leader of the city, the city.
Yep.
He wasn't the king of the city. He wasn't the... He wasn't the fucking... the king of the castle, The first one on top of the mountain. Anyway, he comes out and he goes, yeah, I was just kind of trying to deflect it, because he said he saw it as well.
It was enormous. It just felt otherworldly. In your gut, you could just tell it was otherworldly.
So what were the Phoenix Lights? Well, frankly, we don't know. What we do know is that it's as much of a mystery today as it was a decade ago.
It makes more sense to me that they're trying to keep it under wraps, because they, there's a few reasons why I think they could do it, but half of it's because they want the technology for themselves. They're trying to either protect their nation against other higher powers like Russia, like America's tried to protect themselves from Russia and China, because they don't want them to get the technology. So you keep it under wraps, so if you're back engineering the technology, the other countries won't get it.
Yeah, you don't want the world to know what your best weapons are.
Not only that, if you come up with like free energy, you learn how to manipulate gravity.
Well, there goes a lot of money for some people.
Yeah, like, well, there goes the fuel industry.
Yeah, there goes airplanes. There goes airports. You can just take off.
Yeah.
You don't need a runway
You
anymore.
just go, I'm going to fucking China. I'm going to hop on my back porch and then zoom, there I go. Like, I don't know. Well, I don't know if that could be happen, but according to the UFOs, that you could do that shit.
Do you reckon they found aliens in them, or do you reckon they're all drones? By the way they're moving, no organic creature can be in those ships. They have to be like, they've got to be drones. There's no way.
It depends on the stories. Like, what about the ones that have been abducted? People that have come face to face with so-called aliens, with those guys, the Greys, where they put them on a, remember all the fucking stories where they'd make fun of people being probed in the bum?
Yeah, I don't think those are real. I think those are fake, personally.
Really?
Yeah, just because...
All right, next topic. Trevor Walton. This guy got abducted, right, in front of 5 of his friends. They were driving away from work at night one time. They seen the lights in the sky. They went straight for him. They seen the UFO sitting there in a field. He got out the car, walked up to the UFO because he just wanted to get a closer look or something, or he was so mesmerised. His friends were watching. And then a beam of light hits him. He gets sucked up into the UFO. His friends saw all of this, shit their pants, and took off, right? Everybody thought that his friends had killed him. He shows up about 5 days later, just on a highway somewhere, and they bring him in, ask him what happened to him, and he tells them that the UFO took him. They give all of these guys a lie detector test. All of them except for one was all true. He got sucked up, and he has the story of him coming face to face with these aliens.
Then noticed that he was on a raised table in a triangular-shaped metallic room, which he thought was in a hospital. Walton tried to move and speak, but couldn't. He noticed an unusual object 4 to 5 inches thick, seemingly made of a dark gray metal or shiny plastic, curved along the length of his abdomen. As he slowly regained his vision and mobility, he realized that he was surrounded by 3 figures that he took to be doctors, until he looked into 2 huge luminous brown eyes. Disturbed by the eerie gaze, Walton leapt off the table and threatened the 3 beings with a glass-like cylinder that he found nearby. The beings were just under 1.5 meters, or 5 feet tall, with pale white skin, large bald heads, and large brown eyes. All were wearing seamless orange jumpsuits. The object on Walton's abdomen fell to the floor, emitting a green light. Despite a barrage of questions from Walton, the beings never responded or interacted with one another. Eventually, they backed away and left the room.
See, I find it harder to believe that that's what they were wearing.
Walton then exited the room from the opposite side. He walked down a curved hallway, past an open door, then entered a second one, which led him into a spherical room, empty but for a high-backed metallic chair in the center, and what appeared to be the outline of 3 closed doors along the walls. As he approached the chair, the room darkened and a pattern of stars appeared around the room, as in a planetarium. The effect diminished as he stepped back, and returned again when he got closer. After examining the screen and many buttons on the arms of the chair, he tried pushing some, to little effect. He then sat in the chair, which was a little too small for him. He pushed a lever and the stars began rotating around the room. Not knowing what he was doing, and feeling dizzied by the rotating effect, Walton stood up to look for an exit. Shortly after, Walton heard a noise come from the doorway, and turned to see a muscular, human-looking male in a blue jumpsuit and helmet. Walton stated that the man's only peculiar features were his eyes, which were a golden hazel color. Though Walton asked him many questions, the man only smiled slightly, but never spoke. He took Walton by the arm and led him through a hallway and into a bare, small room where they waited for 2 minutes before another door slid open. This led them to a ramp leading down into an enormous hangar-like room with a rounded roof that curved down to the floor. Walton noted that the structure that he exited was distinctly larger than the UFO he'd seen in the forest, though it was similar in shape. He also noticed a few other saucer-shaped objects on the floor of the large room. The man led Travis across
Area
the large...
51, mate. This is like, that's one of their crafts that they back-engineered, or they're working hand-in-hand with aliens.
They're working with each other.
room and down a hallway, past another set of automatic sliding doors, and into a room with 3 more human-looking beings. 2 men similar in build and appearance to Walton's escort, and a woman with straight hair past her shoulders.
I reckon these
All
guys are
had
drones.
blemish-free skin and the same strange golden hazel eyes.
Or are the aliens drones?
They wore the same blue uniform but without the helmet.
Or
Though
could
Walton resisted, the beings took him by the arm.
could the memories be implanted in his brain? Even, like, it's just...
Well, these guys could even be, these guys here, the human-looking forms, that could just be one of their technologies that they use to cloak. Just like their ships.
Yeah.
Maybe they walk around the streets.
They're like shapeshifters.
Yeah.
They could have shape-shifting technology.
Yeah. So they've seen that he's upset, and that's when they exited the room to go get that
He
tech
can't
on.
handle the side of us, so we'll get people that look like
Make him
us.
more comfortable.
Yeah.
arm and laid him down on a table and placed a type of breathing mask over his mouth. This was Walton's last memory before passing out and waking up on the highway.
So then he got back, he called his brother. His brother came and picked him up. Everybody was like, dude, what happened to you? He told him what happened to him. All this stuff gets swept under the rug. A lot of people haven't heard of this story because it was so long ago, and they're like, let's just... time will heal everything, you know, fix. But you can't forget what happened there. Like, okay, some people say it's bullshit, but I don't know how you can bullshit that happening to 6 blokes and then they all having a lie detector test and they're all coming back positive, like, except for one. All right, last thing, Sky Watcher. All right, these guys, they claim that they have figured out like a dog whistle to call the UFOs.
Cool.
There's a rich guy who's funding it all, and they end up documenting all the UFOs. So go to the last one.
We've broken the UAPs down into 9 classes or types. Some of these classes may be the same UAP under different flight configurations, but at this point, given their behavior, we're confident they don't align with conventional or terrestrial explanations. Each UAP class has different characteristics. Some shimmer, some tumble, some spin. Some look like they're alive and they just fly like a living object in the sky. UAPs are extremely hard to image. What is seen with the naked eye is generally not what is seen under camera. The class 1 often spins, tumbles through the sky. Craft looks like a black body. It appears to flash, pulse multiple times per second. There appears to be some kind of cloud or vapor around it. We've seen class 1s in formations up to 22, 23, flying in different flight formations, different flock formations. The class 2 is the classic tic-tac. We've seen it in groups of 2 to 3, often flying very erratically. We've seen these a couple years in a row, and usually we see them in groups. The class 3, the blob, a pulsing, vibrating cloud. There's something, maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then it vibrates and pulses as it moves through space.
It's pretty cool.
The class 4 is your orb. We've only seen it in infrared. But the class 4 seems to only come during certain activities in conjunction with perhaps the class 1. We don't have enough data yet to confirm. The class 5 we call the manta ray. It seems to tumble and rotate as it moves through the sky. Class 6 is bright star.
That one vibrates very, very fast. It literally looks like a crystal in the sky. The Class 7 is a jellyfish. It's probably about 2 meters across. The head is purple and black in color, and then it has tentacles. The Class 8 we call the hornet. It looks very similar to the Class 7, the jellyfish, except for it's bigger, and it's almost like a jellyfish carrying something. And then the Class 9 is the egg. The Class 9 isn't something we have a lot of data on. It's very limited. We have it as Skywatcher during our California event. It's an emerging class, and we have strong evidence that it probably exists, but we don't have data to concisely describe it.
I suggest going and looking at that site. Well, not that site, that channel. The only problem is they've only brought out like 2 main videos. The rest are shorts. And they haven't brought another video out for at least 2 months, maybe 3 months. They're very slow at releasing stuff, and there's a whole lot more other stuff that's going. Like the government got involved with them, a project in the government called Arrow, and they wanted to team up with them, but when they came in and teamed up with them, they actually offered one of the guys that was on their team, they offered him a job. Yeah. And so that's another thing of the government ruining it for everybody. A bunch of people have come out this year, or just over the last 2 years. There's too much to get into. Maybe we'll do another episode on all the whistleblowers that have come out in the last few years. It's a topic that I'm highly invested in. I'm always going to be watching this and keeping an eye on all the information. The government just needs to go fuck off, honestly. Stop lying to the public. I know it's true. I would suggest you go look at News Nation channel. Ross Coulthart is his name. He's an Aussie guy who's really gone down deep into the rabbit hole. He's brought out a lot of whistleblowers. Maybe we'll do another episode on him because there's too much to get into for today's episode. But thanks again for joining us. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
21.
You stupid. You stupid. You